had to replug the cord in or something. So what's going on,
Gotcha.
brother?
Not much, not much. So, fantasy football this week. Most people around the country are out. They're out. They lost. But there is still some good fantasy football out there to be played. In one league that I qualified for, I got caught up in a Tyreek Hill situation and lost by 4 points. I had
Mm, mm,
Addison,
mm,
Cortland Sutton, George Pickens, and CeeDee
mm,
Lamb as my receivers with Tyreek Hill.
mm.
And I held on and thought, well, maybe they'll play Tyreek. And I held out Addison and got beat by 4 points. And Addison destroyed it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So,
Look, man,
anyway,
it's all learning situation, my brother.
it
Next
is.
next year, you got to learn from your mistakes. That's how you get better at this fantasy game. Look, I've been doing this so long that I see so many situations that I see in the past, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I messed up last time thinking this way. I should think this way this time and end up coming out on top, man. I don't know. The fantasy gods have blessed me this year. I'm trying to stay humble, man. You know, I don't like talking a lot of smack because I've done it in the past and I lose all the leagues. So I ended up going to the playoffs in 13 out of 23. Right now, I'm still in the playoffs in 11 out of 23 leagues right now, man. And it's just been a blessing, bro. I got a championship going this week with a bunch of college guys I went to college with, played football
Okay.
and ran track with, man.
I got you. Well, that's a good sign. This coming up week. So we do have one question. I'm going to bring it up here real quick
Let's do it.
from Golf Hawk. Sam Howell or Jordan Nelson and Rashid Rice or Justin Jefferson? Rice's floor is higher, or Rice's floor is higher. Ceiling is through the roof. What do you say, Soup?
Sam Howell or Jordan? I'm confused.
I am too with the question. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Rashid Rice or Justin Jefferson. Um, I got to go Justin Jefferson, man. I got to go Justin Jefferson. And the only reason I'm saying is because Rashid Rice been doing his thing.
Yes,
but
he has.
It's Justin Jefferson, and he's back. And honestly, Mullins has been getting it done. I see him having a higher target share than Rashid Rice. Patrick Mahomes likes to spread the ball around. It don't really matter who he throwing to, man. I know that Rashid Rice is starting to become his guy, but I'm not benching Justin Jefferson. I drafted him as number one pick, maybe, you know? So
yeah,
you just can't do that. It's the championship, man. Go with the guys like Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. And Mullins is force feeding him the football. I know Addison had a good day, but it was on about it wasn't even 6 catches. I think it was 5 catches. They are forcing that ball to Justin Jefferson, man.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
would put him in.
That's what I'm saying.
We got a question over here on TikTok. Joshua Palmer or Gus Edwards in the flex?
Is it a PPR?
It doesn't say.
If it's a standard
PPR,
league,
I think you got to go Palmer.
Gus Edwards. If it's a PPR, you got to go Palmer right now.
Yeah.
Even if Keenan Allen comes back, man, Palmer getting that work.
Exactly.
He deserves it, right? And you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that backup quarterback been used to throwing to Palmer.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? And them second team reps at practice, you know.
Absolutely.
Think about that, man. He done built continuity with him already, and it showed.
Another question on TikTok. Addison or Rice? That's a good one.
I got to go Rice.
That's a good one.
Addison had a big game, right? But is he getting force fed? I think he had like 6 targets, 6 receptions. So he caught everything. But if he doesn't have a couple big gains, he's nothing. Justin Jefferson is the highest floor. And that's in my opinion. Now, if I'm comparing Rashid Rice, now Rashid Rice has more game-breaking ability, in my opinion, with more upside than Addison. Now, Addison is nice. Don't get me wrong, but I like Rashid Rice in that instance. I'm going with a wide receiver 1 before I'm going with a wide receiver 2.
Gotcha. Question: Sam Howell or Jordan Love?
Definitely Jordan Love. Sam Howell just got benched.
Yes, he did.
If you didn't learn from, I learned from Sam Howell. I lost 2 leagues. Both of them I started Sam Howell in last week. Lost them both because of Sam Howell.
Sam Howell is falling completely off.
You know, what if they decide to do it again? What if he throws 2 picks and they're like, you know what, let's bench him?
Yeah.
Right? I'm taking Jordan Love. Come on now. Jordan can run in. He can run you one. He can get you 2 through the air. Got some healthy receivers. If Christian Watson come back, that's definitely no-brainer.
Gotcha. Here's a good one on TikTok. Godwin or McBride? Before you say anything,
McBride.
I was just going to say, I think Godwin is fool's gold, man. I think it's fool's gold.
You heard what came out? McBride all day long.
Yeah.
14. That's Mr. 14 targets.
Yes.
Since Kyler Murray has been back, McBride has been the man in Arizona. I don't know what you've been watching. I've been watching the games. McBride is the man.
Absolutely.
He's top 3 tight end right now.
Absolutely.
Overall, right now.
Brock or Baker? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
They're gonna hate me. Y'all gonna hate me. Look, I got Purdy. I got Purdy going, but he's going against. He has the toughest defense that he's been up against
in the league
all year long. Now, to me, Brock Purdy is he's exactly what a fantasy manager wants in a season, if that makes sense. A guy that you never even drafted and got off the waiver wire and takes you all the way, right? But Baker Mayfield right now is hot.
He's hot.
He's my top dude. I have him as my number 1 in my picks right now for quarterbacks this week. Number 1. Baker's going against Washington, ranked 31st against the quarterback, coming off a 4-touchdown game. He's throwing the ball to that running back more than ever, and Mike Evans is having a career year.
Yes.
Mike Evans got a touchdown, and he's getting red zone targets. Godwin, but you don't need. I mean, Godwin's going to get his work, right? But we're not talking about end zone. I think Godwin was fool's gold last week. We're talking about Mike Evans and Rashad White getting in that end zone. Both of them twice this week. That's what I'm talking about.
Here's one, Steve Richards over on YouTube. Rice or DJ Moore?
Look, why you gotta...
People it's the playoffs, man.
DJ Moore's getting more targets, bro. DJ Moore's getting more targets. He's a better receiver to me. I'm a Bear fan, but even if I wasn't a Bear fan, I'm going DJ Moore on this week.
God, because he's still the number 1 guy. Where Rice is playing well, but he's still not it's still Travis Kelce.
Listen. Justin Fields throws it to DJ Moore. He makes sure DJ Moore get his 12 targets. Rashee Rice not getting that.
Yes, he does. Here's a question that nobody asked, but I'm going to ask it. Brock Purdy or Lamar Jackson?
Oh, y'all ready for this? I got that situation in one of my leagues right now. I got Jackson sitting. I've been having Jackson sitting, right? Look, I know, and I heard you earlier on your show, B, you was talking about how Jackson could be, he can go to the forefront if they beat San Francisco. He beats Purdy, right? He goes to the forefront of the MVP race, right?
Yeah.
No. Hot Soup, this is Hot Soup's prediction, right? In my opinion, if I look at it, Baltimore's defense has done way more for Lamar Jackson this season than Lamar Jackson has done for Baltimore. Brock Purdy has done way more for San Francisco's offense than that defense has done for San Francisco.
Well, let me just throw this into monkey wrench in there. And you're right.
I know I'm right.
If Brock Purdy had to be playing with his number 3 running back, would we still be saying the same thing?
No.
Because Lamar Jackson is playing with his 3rd running back. Matter of fact, the guy just got hurt. So they're basically on running back 4 with Lamar Jackson. Would we be saying the same thing?
I think if Lamar had all his weapons, he'd be way better this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Way better.
If Kittle was out.
But hold on. So you're saying that Lamar's more important to that team than Brock Purdy?
1,000%.
So Brock Purdy goes out, man, and somebody else comes in and they can't even get the ball down the field.
How do we know that?
We don't.
Thank you.
They got weapons. They do.
There you go.
Let's think about this,
Lamar is the weapon in Baltimore.
The New York Jets have weapons.
And they have nobody to get them the ball.
You see my point. I just made my point.
The weapons, and the difference is the weapons in San Francisco also comes with an offensive line. The weapons in New York doesn't come with an offensive line. That's the difference.
I hear a lot of people, man, saying how, the offense is, Brock Purdy's doing this, he's doing that, but it's only because of his players around him.
I mean,
I'm not buying it. I'm
but
not
you
buying. I
got to
watch
give
football.
him some
I watch football.
credit.
I watch football every Sunday, man.
You
If I
got to
don't,
give him some credit.
I go back and watch the games. I gotta know who I'm feeling next week. Who got hurt? You know what I'm saying? What lines are faulty? Who has the running back going against the line that's the weakest? They got 2 people hurt. They was good last week, but this week they're gonna be terrible. They got 2 backups in. Like I get down to the nitty gritty, man, and then I start my lineups. I go.
Soup. When Trent Green and Debo was out, how good was Brock Purdy?
Serviceable still.
Was he?
Yeah.
In fantasy football, he was serviceable.
And that's what I'm saying. This is
okay.
What are we talking here, B?
So he was serviceable.
We're talking fantasy. Hey, this not the Big B show. This fantasy, this hot soup fantasy. We talking
Lamar
about fantasy
Jackson
only. I'm not talking about in real life.
Well, Lamar Jackson would still be doing the same things regardless.
Lamar Jackson would be doing big things if he had his tight end. We already know that. Andrews would be putting up 2 touchdowns a game. He's proven it year in and year out, right? Yes. Odell Beckham's coming along. You know, the rookie's a beast. So I mean, I like it. I like Lamar, bro. I'm just not going with
going with him over Purdy.
Over Purdy. Now, this week, I might have to, man. I don't. But then that San Francisco defense tough too, and Lamar has less weapons. Purdy got the weapon. I'm going Purdy, man. I'm bitching Lamar. I'm bitching him.
I understand. So, what do we got? Let's talk about wide receivers this week because Tyreek Hill coming off injury, CeeDee Lamb on the road. Does CeeDee Lamb bounce back with Dak? Does Tyreek bounce back after being out of game against a Dallas defense that I think is going to need to be hungry, but apparently can't stop the run on the road? Do we play both? I mean, I'm guessing both of those guys got to be in your starting lineup.
They didn't need Tyreek last week.
They didn't
need him. He could have played. They didn't need him.
He's but like, Waddle basically stepped into that role.
Heal up for the rest of the season, man. We plan on making this playoff run. They don't need him. He knew that. Come on, man. Tyreek. If you got Tyreek, start him.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what happened to me last week, and I lost.
Do not bench Tyreek ever. He's done that. He's done that for fantasy football this year. Bench him. Or don't bench. Never bench him. Never.
Yeah, you can't bench Tyreek.
Never.
You can't bench Tyreek.
Never.
Who's the top starting sit this week, man?
Mike Evans, bro. Mike Evans, man. I know they be hating on Mike Evans, like, oh no, he's not a Hall of Famer. Y'all out y'all mind.
10 straight years of 1,000 yards.
That only a couple receivers has done in NFL history.
Yeah,
and he got him a Super Bowl ring. Stop playing. I don't even really like the Bucs like that, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I love what Mike Evans doing for football, for receivers right now, for all them haters out there hating on him. Man, keep doing your thing, Big Mike, baby.
Mike Evans is the equivalent to Curtis Martin in the running back position. Consistently get you 1,300 yards over a 10-year time period. There's no way you could have kept out Kurt, because when you look up at the end of the day, Curtis Martin stopped running. He was the 4th leading rusher in the National Football League. That guy doesn't get in the Hall of Fame? Of course he does. Turn around and Mike Evans is going to be in the Hall of Fame. There ain't no question.
I love the comparison, bro. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, not flashy, never the best at their position when they played, but consistent. Consistency has to matter, especially when you're talking about fantasy football. That's why you have a guy like that on your team and you put him in every week.
Go look at that touchdown streak. These last 10 games. Just look at his last 10 games. Like, he's going to get you 17 points, man. He might get you 25. Listen, it's the fantasy playoffs, man. We're not leaving none of that on the bench. None of that.
Have to.
Garrett
you got to put it all out there.
Garrett Wilson, I told y'all, Garrett Wilson, get him in your line. Him and Breece Hall this week. I love him. I know that. I know they tricked off last week.
They did.
I know it. It happens, man. It's fantasy football. You got to look at matchups. Look at the matchup. Washington ranked 31st against the receiver. Listen, Wilson is going to make, just like he's going to get that rock. Just like they make sure Devontae Adams get that rock. Just like they targeting your boy Justin Jefferson. That's the same thing Garrett Wilson is to that team. And Breece Hall is going to be a PP monster. Breece Hall, my forecast, 8 receptions this week. Watch.
That's a good pickup. Not necessarily a good pickup, but that's a good play.
I know it is, man. I know it. I got a feeling it's going to be a decent scoring game. You know, everybody in the 20s.
So what about Puka? Somebody said Puka's been tearing it up in fantasy football all year. You got to keep him in your lineup?
You got to continue to start Puka and Kupp, both of them. You got to. You can't bench Puka. Now, it depends on what other receivers you have, but to me, he's a wide receiver 2 right now.
Right.
You know, he's going to get you 15 points. He's going to get you 6 catches for 89 yards. You know what I'm saying? That's a Puka, and he might get you a tud. But Cooper Kupp, that's who you want to have right now. He's hot.
Gotcha.
He's hot. He got hot.
Now, here's a good question.
I was down on him. I was down on him when he came back and he was tricking off. I was down on him, but you know what? I continue to believe in him, and now it's paying off. It's paying off, B.
I hear you. My man says Adams or Smith at wide receiver 1. I don't know that
Devontae Smith.
Yeah. I don't know.
Adams.
If that's a good
you got to go Adams. It's still Devontae, man. He's going to get you 12 targets. Devontae,
right.
Hopefully. You never know. That's a kind of good question, man. That's kind of good question, man, because I see Philly having a bounce back game. I see Hurts going to the air.
They have to because they can't run it.
They got to, right? They got to. That's interesting, man. If they double, Devontae Smith could have a big game. Ooh, man.
Yeah, here's a question, man. We never talk about defense. As somebody brought up James Richardson. Texans defense or the Ravens defense this week?
This week. Why would you even do that? Why would you even go against Purdy? Number one. The Ravens defense shouldn't be up on. Ravens defense is but not this week.
Not this week.
Number 2, those Texans defense, I like it. This week, I like New York Jets defense versus Washington. I like that. I also I see a lot of turnovers in that game. Sam Howell and them just ain't got to go out. I see some fumbles and I see some picks. Now, what I was trying to tell people, pick up Jacksonville defense if you plan on playing in the championship next week. Have them sitting on there. They're playing against Carolina, who's ranked. Carolina's like 31st against any defense, meaning they giving up the most turnovers. They just can't make it happen, man. They got Chuba Hubbard. Adam Thielen is a shell of himself. They have absolutely nothing going on in Carolina. They're going to make turnovers, and they're not going to get many yards. So my point is, get Jacksonville defense and go stash them.
I got you. One question: what about the Chiefs defense this week against the Raiders?
I like it. I got them starting. Hey, B, I got them starting in 2 leagues. Whoever answered that question, I got them going this week.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs defense against the Raiders, especially at home. This game is going to be at home, so and the Chiefs need to keep winning too.
I got a couple Chiefs. I got a lot of Jets this week. I got Jacksonville in like 10 out of 11 of my leagues. I got them just sitting on the bench right now, just waiting for next week.
Last question.
Look. Jacksonville is 8-6 right now. Jacksonville, they're number 1 in the AFC South, but they need to really, really start picking.
They got to win.
If they want to make the playoffs, right?
There's a 3-way tie for first. They got to win,
right?
So
that defense about to ball.
Last question before I get you out of here, man.
Say,
I got Kyren Williams or Jahmyr Gibbs.
I mean, can you not start both of them? Who else you got?
I don't know. That was my first thought. That was my first thought. My man Chuck Miller asked on TikTok. That was my first thought. Is like, if you're picking between those two,
Kyren Williams, you got to go with him first because he gets more touches. Okay.
Gotcha.
David Montgomery actually had more touches than Jahmyr Gibbs did last game, even though Jahmyr Gibbs' output is astronomical right now.
His other running back is CMC.
Well, start them all and put them in the flex. Put Gibbs in the flex.
Put somebody in the flex.
Put Gibbs in the flex.
Yeah, that's what
I would do. PPR. You winning. You winning. PPR or not, you winning.
Yeah. That would be my first thought. Start all 3 of them and put them in the flex because unless you got a bad league where you got some crazy receivers too, and if that's the case, then it is what it is. But you got those 3 running backs. You got to figure out a way to get all of them in your lineup.
Yes,
got to figure it out.
Hey, Big B, man, I hate to cut it short today. I got 11 little soccer girls over at the park right now. I got to be over there in 20 minutes, man. I'm in
no problem, man.
I'm going to have to get in traffic. I got to do a little hour training, man. So if anybody has any questions, just go on Hot Soup Fantasy Football. Check me out on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Go on there. Hit me with it. Inbox me with your questions, man. I'll answer them all. I'll get to it tonight, man, or tomorrow. I'm flying out to Illinois, go see my mama, man. Me and all the kids, we riding out.
All right, man. We appreciate you joining the show, man. Y'all have a good one. And if we don't talk to you next week, which we probably won't, but we will definitely see you the week after, my man, for Championship Sunday. Fantasy Football Championship Sunday. So have a good Christmas, man.
You too. Merry Christmas, man. Happy holidays. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. That is our guy, our fantasy football guru, Hot Soup Fantasy Football Man. If you're not following him on TikTok, please go give that man a follow. And if you're not subscribed to him on YouTube, go subscribe to him, man. You can even go through my page. Go through my page, Big B Sports Talk, on either one, and go to YouTube and go subscribe, and you will find all of Hot Soup stuff in there, man. The guy is a guru when it comes to fantasy football. Just a guru. So I appreciate y'all saving your questions for him. He loves it, man. 23 leagues every year. The guy is crazy.